This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
OPEC Plus will likely decide its oil production levels for April and beyond in the coming weeks, OPEC Plus sources said, adding that a meeting of a key ministerial panel next Thursday would take place too early to take decisions on further output policy. Leading ministers from the OPEC and allies led by Russia, known as OPEC Plus, will meet online. The panel, named the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee, can call for a full OPEC Plus meeting or make recommendations on policy. 5 OPEC Plus sources who declined to be named said the committee would probably not make any changes to existing policy during the meeting. One of them added the meeting would mainly discuss the group's production levels.
Oil prices rose for a second week in a row and settled at their highest in nearly 2 months on Friday as positive U.S. economic growth and signs of Chinese stimulus boosted demand expectations, while Middle East supply concerns added support. Brent crude futures rose $1.12, or 1.4%, to settle at $83.55 a barrel, their highest close since November 30th. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude, WTI, climbed 65 cents or 0.8% to $78.01, also the highest close since November. Both benchmarks made weekly gains of more than 6%. Marking their biggest weekly increase since the week ending October 13th after the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday paused approvals for pending and future applications to export liquefied natural gas, LNG, from new projects, a move cheered by climate activists that could delay decisions on new plants until after the November 5th election. The Department of Energy, DOE, will conduct a review during the pause that will look at the economic and environmental impacts of projects seeking approval to export LNG to Europe and Asia where the fuel is in hot demand. The review will take months and then will be open to public comment, which will take more time, Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm told reporters in a teleconference.
The European Commission has asked the EU's energy regulator ACER to examine whether a tariff Germany added to its natural gas exports distorts the bloc's single market in a possible breach of competition rules, 3 sources close to the matter said. The tariff is a legacy of the European energy crisis that peaked in 2022 after Moscow cut gas flows to Europe following its invasion of Ukraine and an undersea explosion shut the Nord Stream pipeline from Russia to Germany, the route for 15% of Europe's gas imports. That year, the Commission issued EU-wide gas storage filling targets to shore up supplies ahead of winter 2022-2023. Berlin asked its marketing hub, Trading Hub Europe, to fill its stocks, but a surge in gas prices left the government with a bill of nearly €10 billion, $10.84 billion. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. China's top copper smelters on Friday have proposed cutting their output, 3 sources familiar with the matter said on Friday, as tight supplies of copper concentrate ore for processing have caused treatment charges to fall. The China Smelters Purchase Team, CSPT, a group of the country's top copper smelters, held an online meeting on Friday to discuss how to deal with a sharp drop in spot copper concentrate treatment charges, TC, or the price they receive for smelting the ore concentrate into copper, the sources said. The TC prices are set as a function of smelter capacity and tend to fall when there is less concentrate supply and more smelting capacity available.
Bolivia's government has launched a new international tender for companies to extract lithium from the country's salt flats, the energy minister said on Friday. The tender, from state-owned Yacimientos de Litio Bolivianos, seeks to develop projects in various salt flats in the Altiplano region, including 3 of the South American country's biggest lithium reserves. Bolivia, together with Argentina and Chile, sits atop the so-called lithium triangle, which contains more than half the world's resources of the metal, but has struggled to launch industrial production.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Euronext wheat futures fell on Friday to near contract lows, pressured by a sharp drop in Chicago and worries about stiff export competition amid ample global supplies. March milling wheat on Paris-based Euronext was down 1.4% at €215.25, $233.78, a metric ton at 15.54 GMT, near a life of contract low of €214 struck last week. A lull in demand this week, following a run of purchases by importers last week, has put the focus back on lagging European Union exports and cheaper competition from Black Sea supplies. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.